There it is. There it is. And we're live. Go ahead and ask those questions, folks. We can go ahead and set it up while people are joining in right now. Business credit secrets that you should already know. Now, you may say, oh man, I don't have a business. Well, you don't have a business yet. And guess what? Life is a business. So really, you were born, you were born into business. Life is a business. It sure is. You got to take care of your checking account, your savings account, right? You got to take care of your credit accounts, don't you? You got to make sure plans are installed on this, that, and the other, right? So of course, there's going to be some business involved, especially if you're talking about real life. Now, you're in real life and business. Real life is a business. So if you're a human being, you are in business. Ever notice how the same elements that are visible in a good business is also present in a good in good relationships on the personal side? Because relationships is a currency. You ever heard of the law of reciprocity? Giving something away for free. That's why you get things for free. These businesses know what they're doing. They work by a law because they know that, man, if I give this person, this is cucumber juice, by the way, if I give this person enough value on a free item, what can they do for me when I pay for the service? Which thousands have actually already learned through velocity banking. They think it's a trick. They think it's a trick when all of a sudden they had a positive $300 cash flow, a positive $3,000 cash flow, or like that one woman said, $50,000 she didn't even know she had before velocity banking. Because you don't know what you don't know. It wasn't her fault. Okay. She didn't know that she had that within her line of credit. She didn't know that she had access to that. And so what happened next after that? We didn't hear from her again. She was so elated, she took right off into business credit, business world, probably is now acquiring businesses. But she had that money all along. So, can I ask you a question before we get into business credit secrets? Part three will be on store credit cards. Okay. We're going to be going over the store credit cards. There is a sequence that you need to get through in order to get the $50,000 in business lines of credit. Okay. But there was a mindset that this lady had that caused her to think that she was $50,000 in the hole versus actually she had $50,000 at her disposal. And so what we want to do right now is make sure that you know the sequence of business credit so that you can find out, wait a minute, I'm not $50,000 in the hole. I actually have a positive $50,000. And it's all within your fingertips. Come on in. We're going to get started in just a little bit, maybe one more minute, and then we're just going to get into it. We are on the store credit cards right now. This is what you need. You need to go in sequence. Don't be deceived by the cards that come in the mail. I know your first impulse is to go ahead and sign up, right? American Express, Visa, MasterCard, Discover Card. CJ, I already got business credit cards coming in the mail. They're giving me 5,000. They're giving me 2,000. They're giving me 10,000. However, what if I could show you how to get 10 to 100 times more by ignoring those cards for the moment and making sure that you're going through the sequence so that the lenders don't point out the neophytes? So instead of getting $5,000 cards in the mail, you're going to get $50,000 cards in the mail. You get $70,000 credit cards in the mail. Why? Because you went through the sequence. Not necessarily because your business is making money, You're a startup, right? It's not necessarily because you have the collateral, the cash flow, the credit, right? You got good personal credit. No, 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 no. We're not talking about that. We're talking something way beyond personal credit. We're talking about performing or executing an application, okay? Writing in that application, and your social security number is nowhere to be found, but just your EIN, just your EIN number. All right, folks, thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and get started. My name is CJ Wallace. This is the Velocity channel. We're going to show you how to get business lines of credit in excess of $50,000 within 6 and we are on store credit cards. Now, I want you to see how powerful going in sequence really is. Before you go in sequence, you got to know which order or which cards to get. Okay, so we want to go ahead and get you set up with that. I want to go ahead and share my screen here so that you can see it as well. And if you need to go back, you can go back and you can see that. Okay, so let's go ahead. Where's everybody tuning in from, man? That's what I want to know. Where you tuning in from? I know the 305 was yesterday. We're going to accept that. And then we're going to go ahead and share that. Perfect. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. All right, you guys see that? Perfect. All right. So as we continue on with our lesson that we had from yesterday, it's the store credit card. The number one would be WEX Fleet Card. Now, I know that you most likely don't travel to and from work. However, when you are a business, guess what? You can now designate certain things as business expenses. You can designate certain things as business expenses. This is going to help you on your taxes. It's going to help a lot. And of course we can get into the lease aspects of it and how to purchase a car in later sessions. But right now we're doing the store credit card and WEX fleet card. That's good for maintenance and gas. Now you can go ahead and call them and ask, hey, what are your prerequisites, right? Like what do you mean by maintenance? And they'll give you the breakdown on that. But to be maintenance is maintenance, making sure that the oil is good, right? I mean, hopefully you didn't get a lemon, so you don't have to change out a head gasket or anything like that. But maintenance, gas, Wex fleet cards are great for that. Okay, it's also great for dividing those expenses. So now, the next one that I advise you to get as far as store credit card, which is again, this is round one. These are revolving round one trade lines. And some of these companies, now I know you'll know about Macy's. Some of these companies you most likely have not heard of. It's because before you weren't a business and you were just going about your own way. But now that you're a business and you're building business credit, these are the companies that report to the business credit bureaus. Okay. Sherwin Williams. Boy, I remember Sherwin Williams. I'm only picking out the best ones for you guys. I'm not saying anything against, some of the other ones, but I want the best ones for you guys. Is that all right? Staples. Yeah, number 5 should be enough. If you want to go more than that, You definitely can. But right now we're on store credit cards. Then we have Home Depot. Hey, thank you so much as well. I know that's going to be on another lesson, but I wanted to interject. Make sure that you have your business phone line. And when you have that business phone line, guess what you're going to need to make sure of? You're also going to need to make sure. What's going on, Linda? Hey, I see you. I see you calling, right? But we're going to be. We have not forgot about you. We know about the retirement and everything. Okay, we'll get back at you. We haven't forgot about you. Absolutely not. And so we have a Home Depot card as well as the Lowe's card. Okay. So let's go ahead and go over this and get a little more in depth on why you would want to get these particular store credit cards. Okay. Meanwhile, let's not forget to check the questions. How about that? I'm such a good explainer that there are no questions, or you're just gobbling it up, or you're just gobbling it up. Okay. All right. So the Wex Fleet card, I think we've gotten that one um, pretty much um, kind of beating a dead horse there. Macy's, right? Macy's card, Office Depot, Staples, Home Depot, and the Lowe's card. The reason why you want to get these cards is since you're just starting out, you want to create a record with them. Now, each of these cards have a certain limit that they deem is necessary to go ahead and report to the credit card bureaus, the business credit card bureaus. What we want you to do is at least $150. Okay. At least $150 for Macy's, at least $150 for Office Depot, Staples, Home Depot, and the Lowe's card. Now, you can take this amount out throughout your quarter, throughout the months. It wouldn't matter. Okay. You can place that within your budget and say, you know what, instead of me using this Visa card for that item, I want to go ahead and use, let's say, my Office Depot card. Okay. Now, it's good to have at least 5 transactions between two store cards. 5 transactions between at least two store cards. What would that do? It's building a record. Building a record. Now you may say, CJ, that's over $500. I know, but you're going to be getting over $50,000 at the end of the 12 months or within the 6 to 12 months, depending on where you're at in your business. Remember, that's what we have to look at. We don't want to look at the cost of something. We also want to look at the cost of if we don't get that something, right? So what is the cost of you not investing in Macy's, right? Or Office Depot? Let's just go ahead and say we're going to be using these two cards. What would be the trade-off of not going here, of not utilizing these two, or any of the two store credit cards? Exactly what you've been doing. No business credit built up, no lines of credit accessible to you. And that's not what we want. We want you to do this step by step. We want you to do this so that you can get the lines of credit. I remember when I first came up in this game, Joseph introduced it to me. And he said, CJ, in 3 weeks, you got $3,000. And they don't even know your social security number. And I thought about it. I said, Yeah. And so the rest is history. But this isn't just for me, right? Like the guy who went from one house to like $1 million in debt, right? And he was thanking me, but really you need to thank yourself, right? You're the one that saw the math. You're the one that said 2 + 2 is 4. You're the one. That's who that's who you should be thanking, right? I'm just a teacher. This is information that is readily available to you. I just bring it out and don't charge you $10,000, $20,000 for it because I don't believe that. I'm like Benjamin Summers. I think a lot of you know who Benjamin Summers is. Investment banker said, "Man, this isn't fair. I'm making so much money, and these people are suffering. And the way this money is coming to me is easy for me now. But if I could democratize this in some sort of way, people can get access to this. That's what I want my life to be about." And so we take these two cards, Macy's and Office Depot. We invest $150 each month. We have those 5 transactions, and then we can go to the next step. Now, what's the next step? The next step is going to be, now again, make sure you have your, and this is going to be something that we could ask even more, your business telephone number. Okay. Your business telephone number has to be registered with the national. Thank you so much. 411 directory. This is very important. Why? Because the lenders are going to be looking you up. That's why. And if they see a website, they see a professional email, they see that you've gone through the sequencing of the net 30, you've gone to the store credit cards, and then you've gone towards the higher limit cash credit cards, which we're going to be talking about next. When they see that you've gone through the sequence and you have all of that, the likelihood of you getting to that $50,000 number at least, I'm talking about that's the minimum, at least is going to be much higher. Okay. There have been people that have been at this for 2 years and have acquired $1.8 million just in business lines of credit. They didn't have perfect credit. Okay. So this is what you would need to do. Store credit card, you're going to be looking at these. These credit cards, as far as the store credit cards are concerned, is what you're going to need to do. Now, is there a way that we can put a Visa logo on each of these cards? Not the WEX, right? But there is a way you can put a Visa or MasterCard logo on these cards, and we're actually going to be getting into that next. But those are the cards, okay, that you'll be looking at. Don't forget, National 411 Directory. You got a telephone number, you've got to register it with the National 411 Directory. Okay, that's going to help you in your quest to get the financing that you need, to get the funding that you need. Now, I'm going to open up for questions. That's number 3. That's all for today. I want to give you your day back. We're going to systematically making sure that you do this with us. And it's okay if you're still on step 1. It's okay. We're going to be here until we get a testimony of, got it, $50,000 in lines. You're right. Now, of course, if you need even further assistance, you want to go ahead and get that ball rolling right now. We did go ahead and are going to make sure, and we actually already have it in the description link below. There is a link, a bit.ly link for business credit right now. You can go ahead and get started with that and get on your journey, okay? Because I know a lot of you, man, you want to jump, right? You got to have the sequence right now. You don't need the live, and that's okay. That's okay. And we got it in the chat too. Bit.ly link. It's a bit.ly business credit right now. Get on the inner circle so that you and your business can start thriving even more than you already are. Now, you may not even have a business. That link right there shows you how to get a business for at least $50. Make sure you got the right entity as well. And we will make sure that you and I going through this together. And I want to hear you say, CJ, we already got the $3,000. It's been 2 weeks. I know this works. Let's go ahead. All right. Folks, thank you so much for watching. And we will see you later. God bless.